Shayna Baszler got pinned once again on Monday Night Raw because of fire. We are live, man! This show sucks, man. This show is absolutely terrible. You guys know the deal already. But I'll tell you what, man. I'm an honest man. I'm a truthful individual when it comes to what we're watching on this show. Tonight wasn't that bad as far as an in-ring aspect goes, but man, oh man, does this company just not understand storytelling anymore. It has gotten so bad that Monday Night Raw is being headlined by Tamina, Snuka, and Natayla versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for worthless women's tag team titles and Alexa Bliss magic. WWE making some questionable decisions going into Hell in a Cell. We'll talk about that. And Kofi Kingston. Is he going to get that title match against Bobby Lashley at the pay-per-view? We'll talk about all that plus so much more right here on the Monday Night Raw post show right here on Off the Script.
This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for May 24th, 2021. I am your host, JD from New York, and welcome to the OTS venue on your Monday night. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I don't really know what else I can physically say to you guys on a Monday night. I mean, if you want me to be honest with you, as far as Monday Night Raw goes, Hell in a Cell is looking absolutely boring. Let's get that right out of the gate, man. Hell in a Cell is looking absolutely boring for a show that should be a big deal, and it's not. Monday Night Raw tonight, man. You know, WWE has some incredible professional wrestlers. They do. Their roster is... And it's amazing how they're booked. You would not even think this. WWE has an incredible roster. They do. Monday Night Raw, you can never really tell because you get the same fucking matches every single week. Rematch after rematch after rematch. This show is basically the identical show that you got last week. It's pretty much what it was tonight. The in-ring action tonight was on top of its game. You had Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. They had a very good match tonight. Xavier Woods and Matt Riddle, they tore the house down tonight. Excellent match between those two guys. I'll even give Charlotte some credit. Just a little bit. She don't deserve it, but I'll give just a little bit. She had a great match with Asuka tonight. I don't really care to see it again. How many times do we need to suffer through Asuka versus Charlotte? But they had a great match. There was some really, really great wrestling on the show tonight, but those three matches, it does not make a good Monday Night Raw. Because what the company is lacking is attention to detail. They're lacking captivating story. They seemingly book week to week with absolutely zero effort. Whatever happened last week, for example, you could get AJ Styles versus Elias last week. WWE thinks that going into next week's show, it's the right thing to do to give us AJ Styles versus Jaxson Ryker, which we got tonight. That does not make Monday Night Raw captivating television. They don't captivate the audience. There's nothing about the show as far as interest goes in any of the performers. There's no interest in storyline. WWE seemingly books this show at the last minute every single week, and it shows. They don't have a grasp on storylines anymore. So when someone wants to tell me, oh, Monday Night Raw wasn't that bad, you're strictly basing it on the in-ring action, which I know was good. It should be with the amount of talent that they have on this roster. But the storylines and the reason why we watch sucks. I can't take it anymore. I can't take the fucking rematches. I can't take the same old shit. How would you guys feel if I took last week's Monday Night Raw post show and I copied and pasted it into OBS and I showed you a rerun of last week's review? Would you be happy with it? Pretty sure if I replayed it, none of you would know the fucking difference because every match that you saw last week happened tonight. Maybe I was wearing a different colored t-shirt. I don't know. Maybe I had a different hat on. I don't know. But Monday Night Raw, man, they either got to get with the fucking program and start booking fresh or just end the fucking brand split. I mean, really. If you're running that dry, if you are running out of ideas that quickly on Monday Night Raw to a point where we are right now, then maybe it's time to explore ending the brand split. Now, I read a report today, I don't know how true it is, that WWE is actually planning on calling up more NXT talent. Why would you call up more NXT talent if you don't even use the NXT talent that you called up from the last fucking time you called NXT talent up? Where's Keith Lee? Why isn't Ricochet being used to his maximum potential? Why is Angel Garza on the show one week, shoving a rose up Drew Gulak's ass, and then he's off the show? How are you supposed to build consistency with these characters? These are characters that have not been on television for many, many, many months. You put them on TV for 1, 2, 3 weeks and then proceed to take them off television. That doesn't make people necessarily care about that character. WWE's planning more NXT talent call-ups to the main roster. They should all go to Monday Night Raw. Maybe 1 or 2 of them go to NXT or they should all stay in NXT. Never mind that. They should all go to SmackDown. 1 or 2 of them. And the rest of them go to Monday Night Raw. If this is the way Monday Night Raw is shaping up to be, then most of them should go to Raw. You got 3 hours. I'm sick and tired of the fucking rematches. I really am. So we got Rick Boogs. If you guys saw on Friday night, Rick Boogs, Eric Bugenhagen, he appeared on SmackDown on Friday. He interrupted a pre-match promo by asshole King Corbin, and he was playing his guitar. He was jamming out to Shinsuke Nakamura's theme song. Boogs played along to the entrance theme on his guitar as WWE debuted this guy rather illogically, but I found it to be quite entertaining. As for the match, Shinsuke Nakamura beat Baron Corbin via a Rick Boogs interference while he played on the announce desk electric guitar. Fightful Select reported today that there were additional plans for call-ups to Raw and SmackDown, including talent from both NXT and NXT UK. As it stands right now, there's no word yet on exactly who or how many people WWE will be calling up to the main roster, but NXT talent has been speculating amongst themselves who will be called up in recent weeks. It was added that multiple call-ups have been planned, or at least in the works, for a while for both Raw and SmackDown. Tuesday is going to be a very telling situation. And I mean that in regards to the Karrion Kross and Finn Balor title match. It goes one of two ways. Kross beats Balor and Balor gets demoted to either Raw or SmackDown. I think he should go to SmackDown. I think he would fit better on SmackDown. If they moved him to Monday Night Raw, I could absolutely see him being a challenge to Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I think that would be great. Or even Sheamus for the United States Championship, but I honestly think going from Kross to Sheamus is actually a downgrade. Going from the NXT title to the United States Championship is actually a downgrade. Not to diminish Sheamus in any way, but let's be real. The United States Championship isn't really all that prestigious. It's more of a prop than anything. They're all props, but WWE doesn't give a fuck about their mid-card championships. So it's going to be very telling as to see what happens with Balor and Kross. Now, like I said, Balor and Kross, with the outcome of that match, Balor could go to the main roster when he loses. Kross, if he loses, let's say, and I don't think this is going to happen, let's just say Balor regains the championship and he stays in NXT. Where does Karrion Kross go? I could see Karrion Kross going to Monday Night Raw to inject some life into that show. Not only would WWE management fall in love with Scarlett Bordeaux, Bruce, I'm looking at you, slob, Vince, but Karrion Kross would be a major opponent for Drew McIntyre if he does win, and I think he will, the WWE Championship at Hell in a Cell. So that match itself is going to be a very telling story on Tuesday night. I will be here live covering the aftermath of Kross Balor tomorrow night after NXT is over on the post show right here on OTS. Adam Cole. Kyle O'Reilly hasn't done much of anything with Adam Cole. I could see him being brought up to the main roster. Where is he? Where is Adam Cole? Adam Cole could easily slide onto Monday Night Raw like I pitched and challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Imagine that. Imagine those call-ups. Now, if Balor loses and he goes to Monday Night, you got Balor, you got Cole, you got Drew McIntyre, you got Bobby Lashley, Edge is coming back going into SummerSlam. You could slide him on into Monday Night Raw. You could do Edge on Monday night. AJ Styles, you got to get him out of this fucking tag team with Omos. AJ Styles back in the WWE title picture. Look at those names compared to what we got now. Imagine what a couple of names from NXT would do to inject some life into Monday Night Raw. Now, I'm not saying it's going to overnight change everything on the show. That's in the hands of the creative, which I don't trust at all. I don't trust them to walk my fucking dog. But look at how different it feels just by me saying it. What about Johnny Gargano? Johnny Gargano could be called up. He could go to SmackDown. I could see Johnny Gargano on SmackDown. I'd love to see Johnny Gargano versus a Daniel Bryan on SmackDown. Johnny heel versus Bryan babyface? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. Take my money. You don't gotta ask me twice, man. I'll even double down on you. That's about it, really. I don't see anybody else getting called up. It's either a Balor or a Kross, depending on who wins that match. Adam Cole. He's long overdue for a call-up. WWE wants to do some fucking trades. They could do that as well. I mean, you could move Adam Cole to Monday Night Raw. You could send somebody down to NXT. You can send a Sami Zayn or a Kevin Owens on SmackDown down to NXT. They thrive in NXT. You pull up a Johnny Gargano, you trade him for a Sami Zayn. You have multiple different avenues in which you could maneuver the roster. You could send a Ricochet down to NXT. Up comes Adam Cole. There should be a trade system. There should be an instance where NXT is involved in the draft somehow. It's a third brand now, right? Why isn't NXT being treated like a legit third brand? They're on Tuesday night. They're obviously fighting for ratings on Tuesday night. WWE's promoting them on Raw during commercial breaks, during little commentary breaks on Monday Night Raw. So clearly, there's a push to get more of an audience on Tuesday night for NXT. Something needs to be done. I don't think WWE has the brain power to actually come up with something fun and creative. I don't. But if WWE is going into SummerSlam, we cannot have this roster the way it sits right now. We can't. We can't get the roster that we got now going into SummerSlam. We need something new. We need something that's going to inject life into this show. Because right now, with what we are being given, it is not going to change anytime soon. What you saw tonight is exactly what you're going to see at Hell in a Cell. You're getting all rematches. Everything that came out of WrestleMania was a rematch at Backlash. Everything that was a rematch at Backlash is going to be a rematch at Hell in a Cell. It's just a vicious cycle, man. I don't mind a program having multiple matches, but every fucking feud is just every single pay-per-view, and it goes on for 3-4 months. Every single feud. Something needs to change. Something needs to change about Monday night. And I know you guys agree with me on that. That's my opening statement, man. I'm just physically ill about all the rematches. I can't really invest my time into these rematches, and none of them mean anything. Nothing on this show meant fucking anything at all. Thank you guys for joining me on your Monday night, man. This is Off the Script. This is the OTS venue. This is your Raw post show, May 24th, 2021. If you guys missed my earlier Off the Script extra, we talked about Keith Lee. Rumors going around the IWC. False rumors, by the way.
Oh, but JD clickbaited.
Is all I heard today on social media. Blow me, geeks. I am the content creator. I do what I think is best for my channel, and clearly what I did worked. Clickbait, negative. There was a question mark in the fucking title. Keith Lee released by WWE? Question mark? We talked about how the rumors were false, and how I wouldn't be surprised if WWE released Keith Lee, because they clearly let Samoa Joe go for absolutely no fucking reason. So we talk about that. Velveteen Dream, he released a statement, a very long statement, a very lengthy statement on his accusations and everything that happened with his release. We talked about Dana Warrior and how she called Dark Side of the Ring and the upcoming Thursday premiere of The Ultimate Warrior Dark Side of the Ring filth and smut. So we talked about that. And where exactly is Edge? We talked about where he is as well. So make sure you guys go and check that out. It is on the channel right now, on the homepage. If you missed it, go and check it out. And for everybody that is watching this and then watching it after the fact, I'm going to leave you a link in the comment section pinned at the very top of the comment section. Follow me on social media, man, at JDfromNY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys have not subscribed and you enjoy what you hear and see here, we're doing something that nobody in the IWC is doing. We look vastly different and, might I add, a lot better than all these other geeks in the community. So if you guys enjoy and see what you see here, I would appreciate that. Subscribe and turn on that bell so you are notified of when I go live and when I upload every single week. I will be in Jacksonville on Saturday morning, so I'll be in the venue here, obviously doing the SmackDown post show, and then turn right around, get on a plane, go to JFK, fly out of JFK, land in Jacksonville at 11:17 a.m., get to the hotel, right to the AEW Double or Nothing Fan Fest. We'll be in Jacksonville this Saturday. Sunday, we got an off-the-script meet and greet. We're going to be doing that at the Intuition Ale Works. It's 5 minutes from Daly's place. We'll be there at 1 p.m. I'll be having a cold beverage, and I'll be having some bar snacks. So if you guys want to come on and hang out, it's going to be a good time, man. And then we're going right to Double or Nothing on Sunday nights, right from the Intuition Ale Works. So you guys are going to be in Jacksonville for Double or Nothing, or if you live in the resounding area and you don't want nothing to do with AEW, if you want to come on and hang out, I'll be happy to have you, man. Intuition Ale Works, Sunday, 1 p.m. in Jacksonville, Florida. It's a 5-minute walk from Daly's place. If you guys watched the podcast last night, episode 377, it's on the channel right now as well. If you guys heard the beginning opening to that podcast, just want to quickly say once again, I know he's going to be listening when he's got some time. We love Jesse. Jesse is in our thoughts and prayers. And if you guys don't know what happened, his mother unfortunately passed away from a sudden heart attack. And we love Jesse very much. He's like a brother to me. And he's going to be off YouTube and off Twitter for the foreseeable future as he deals with what's going on with his family. So thoughts and prayers and absolutely nothing but love for Jesse here from the OTS family, from us to him. Hopefully he gets back and he does what he loves to do, and that's be in this community talking about what he loves. We love Jesse, and we hope he gets back soon, and all of our love to him during this difficult time. We just want him to be strong, and I know he's going to get through this because he's got a great family behind him. He's got a great backing behind him, and he's going to get through this. Jesse, we love you, brother. Guys, we have a new sponsor for today's show, and I'm very excited about them because I actually ordered myself some t-shirts, and man, oh man, I'll tell you, they are fucking great. They are great, man. We are sponsored today by Homage. That is homage.com. I pinned it right in the stream at the top of the live chat, man. That's HOMAGE.com. They deal in retro and vintage clothing, man. We are now sponsored by them. And if you guys use code SCRIPT at checkout, you guys are going to save a whopping 20% off. I got myself an HBK. You guys have seen me wear it. An HBK Heartbreak Kid shirt. It's beautiful in red. I just got myself a vintage video game t-shirt. You guys know I love my Legend of Zelda. I got myself a vintage retro Legend of Zelda t-shirt. This is great stuff. Quality is unbelievable. And if you guys use code SCRIPT at checkout, you're going to save 20% off. So go and get yourself something today. And being that we are partnered with them, we are going to be doing a giveaway next Monday on the Raw live stream, on the Raw post show. So make sure you guys keep an eye and an ear out on Twitter. I will be unveiling the simple ways to enter the giveaway during the week. So look out for that, man. That's Homage. Go and check them out. Let's start at the top, man. MVP was back in the ring to start the show, basically the same way that the show started last week. He was in the ring with Bobby Lashley, the WWE champion, and he was with 5 new women. Now, I don't know what they're doing with Bobby Lashley. Apparently, he's now a ladies' man. So it looks like Bobby Lashley, while being the WWE champion, has been given his own Ho train. It's exactly what it looked like to me, and I know it looked like that way to you guys. They legitimately look like they gave Bobby Lashley his own fucking WWE Championship Ho train. Now, I'm not calling any of the women that, but, I mean, when they all come out and everybody's like, oh, look, Bobby Lashley, his new gimmick after he drops the title is going to be a fucking a take on The Godfather. Come on. I got to mention it. So WWE is leaving the Thunderdome, if you guys were not aware. MVP says that they will be leaving the Thunderdome. They're back on the road where they belong starting in July. Said fans can see the WWE champion up close and in person. He said, sadly, there is the perennial dark cloud that hangs over them, and that petty, crass, dark cloud has a name, and its name is Drew McIntyre. Lashley said he beat Drew at WrestleMania. He beat Drew and Braun Strowman at Backlash, so a rematch is a no-go. MVP said that they're done with all of that. MVP said that they tried to move on by issuing an open challenge. He called Kofi a dreadlocked cartoon character who thought just because he was a champion before, he deserved to step up and face Bobby Lashley. So McIntyre comes out. McIntyre said everyone knows he'd walk out there eventually because your business is my business, since my business is winning back the WWE Championship. Said if it weren't for MVP, he would have beat Lashley at WrestleMania. He blamed Braun for his loss at Backlash. He said he knows Lashley wants to prove he can beat him clean and asked him not to overlook MVP. So let me get this straight. He said he lost to Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania because of MVP. What exactly did MVP do during that match that I must have forgotten? Because it looked like it was a clean victory to me for Bobby Lashley. So how exactly was MVP the downfall of Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania? Does WWE just want to change up what we saw? Drew McIntyre lost clean. Then he shows up the next night and wants a rematch. So WWE is pretty much showing you that they don't give a fuck what happened in the past. They want to rewrite what they want to rewrite. So he's telling MVP, don't overlook him. Drew entered the ring and told Lashley that he doesn't have the balls to face him again. He asked the women if Lashley indeed, did he have any balls? Does he have any balls? He's asking the women in the ring. They all reacted like, how would we know? How would we know? Why would you ask us such a nasty question? So Kofi Kingston comes out. He interrupted both Drew and Lashley. They're both arguing with each other. Kofi and Xavier come out to the stage. Kofi bragged about beating Lashley, and Lashley asked Kofi if he thanked Drew. Drew said, you're welcome. Kofi asked Drew what he just said. What'd you say, bro? It seems like you're insinuating I couldn't have beat Bob without you. He said he didn't ask Drew to come out to his corner last week. He said he answered Lashley's challenge last week because he never got a WWE Championship rematch. So, first of all, he says, I didn't ask you to come out and be in my corner last week. Seems like you're insinuating I couldn't have beat Bob without you. Yes, that's exactly what everybody is thinking, Kofi. You would never have been able to beat, nor should you have been booked to beat Bobby Lashley. He's the WWE champion. You do not get championship matches by beating the WWE champion. You get championship matches by winning, not by beating the champion in a non-title match. You get championship matches because of your work previously. Then when you accumulate wins, which you have 0 of, then you go and challenge Bobby Lashley. Then he comes out and says, I wanted a WWE Championship rematch because I never got one. So now you're bringing up past situations where you lost to Brock Lesnar in 7 fucking seconds, and now you want me to care all these months later that you didn't get a championship match? You lost to Lesnar in 7 fucking seconds. I think that pretty much is a staple on you don't deserve another rematch against Brock Lesnar. Or for the WWE Championship, for that matter. I said this last week. Kofi Kingston, and nobody's mentioning this, Kofi Kingston lost to Brock Lesnar in 7 seconds. It was a job. He went out there. He didn't even break a sweat. Brock Lesnar. Not one single droplet of sweat rolled down that man's brow. 7 seconds. Bobby Lashley gets in the ring, and he's struggling to beat Kofi Kingston. And then Kofi Kingston wins because of a Drew McIntyre cane shot to the midsection. So what does that do to Bobby Lashley? If Lesnar can beat him in 7 seconds, shouldn't Bobby Lashley, the way he's been booked, he's pretty much been booked like a Brock Lesnar, shouldn't Bobby Lashley decimate Kofi Kingston? I don't really understand the logic there. Bobby Lashley didn't look good in any of those situations at all last week. I still don't understand why he lost. Now, that's just the way I think about it. The 7 seconds, the WWE champion losing on fucking national television in a non-title open challenge to somebody who, get this, folks, is one half of a fucking tag team. He's not even a singles wrestler. Officially, he's a tag team. I'll get to that part in a second. So he wants a championship rematch. Kofi said Drew seems to get one rematch after another. He and the fans would like him to stand off to the side and watch him do something Drew hasn't done, and that is pin Bobby Lashley. Drew said maybe he didn't need him, but he's 99% sure he did. So Kofi's complaining that Drew McIntyre gets nothing but rematches. I mean, bro, do you realize what fucking company you're working for? How many fucking rematches has the New Day gotten as tag team champions? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, every single fucking reign that they've accumulated has been won off of a goddamn rematch. They've done nothing for the majority of their title victories. No story, no new teams, no division. What exactly are you trying to convince us of here, Kofi? Bruce, Vince, Drew McIntyre gets nothing but rematches? Maybe Kofi should look in the fucking mirror and realize who's booking this show. Everything just sounds so fucking stupid. Oh, but Drew gets rematches. Maybe he should stand off to the side. You should all stand off to the fucking side. No more rematches for anybody. How about that? So Adam Pearce comes out. He walked out, and he said there's an easy way to settle this debate. Kofi versus Drew. Right now, winner faces Lashley at Hell in a Cell. MVP said this is a great idea, and he was going to set up the VIP lounge on the stage to watch with the ladies. That's that. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware. I don't know if you listen to anybody else in the community after you're done listening to me. I don't know what they have said, but they should have said this if they have some semblance of a fucking brain. The only reason why Kofi Kingston is in this predicament is because there's no true baby faces on Monday night. That's the only reason why Kofi Kingston is there. WWE has nobody but Drew McIntyre for Bobby Lashley. Now, why are we getting Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley again? Because WWE doesn't want to take the title off of Bobby Lashley yet. They want to give him at least a couple of months as champion. This is their fault. They didn't think what was going to happen when they made Bobby Lashley the champion. They had no other baby faces on this show except Drew McIntyre. So no matter what happened, when Bobby Lashley won the title from The Miz, his only opponent on Raw was Drew McIntyre. And Kofi Kingston is involved because WWE has finally woken up and realized we got no other baby faces here. We have to book Lashley and McIntyre for another 5 weeks. Going into Hell in a Cell, we got to add another babyface. Who do we have? Nobody. Braun Strowman? Give me a fucking break, man. I'd rather stare at a fucking wall drying of wet paint than watch fucking Braun Strowman wrestle. Braun Strowman, don't want to really wish him injury, but he's hurt. If this wasn't a situation where Braun Strowman was hurt and he didn't crack a rib at Backlash, he may still be in this situation. We may have gotten another triple threat match with Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, and Drew McIntyre. Thank God we didn't. I'll take Kofi over Braun Strowman any day of the week. But the only reason why Kofi is there because there's no other baby faces. This is WWE's dilemma. This is their fault. This is what happens when you don't book characters correctly. You need baby faces, and you got none. This is why Kofi is in this situation. Now, I don't understand how this works out for Kofi Kingston. Is he just there as a B player? Is he there for a fill-in role? Are they going to break him away from Xavier Woods? Are they going to have him go do Kofi Mania 2 or attempt to do it again? Are you going to split them away from each other? You just took them away from Big E with the last draft. You drafted them to both shows, different shows. Now you want to take one of them away from the other on the same brand to do what? Nobody wants to see Kofi Mania 2. Kofi doesn't deserve a Kofi Mania 2. And you have no legit tag teams in your tag team division. The only legit team in the division besides the New Day are the Viking Raiders. And when was the last time WWE cared to use them? What was it, 4 weeks ago? Or the Lucha House Party? What happened to Lucha Lit? I thought they cut a promo about being Lucha Lit. I guess that fire has gone out already after 1 week. WWE they don't think. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm the voice of reason in this fucking godforsaken, idiotic, dumb community. Nobody thinks. Nobody applies what they watch and makes sense of it. Nobody thinks ahead. Nobody books ahead. Nobody thinks of, well, what if? Nobody answers the long-aged question of why. We do that here. That's why you're here, and that's why there's 1,600 people in the fucking venue right now watching me talk about logic. Logic. Kofi doesn't belong there at all. So what happens here? They have a match. The match is fine. I don't give a fuck about the match at all. I was expecting a fucking interference because WWE needs to book another 4 weeks of television. So there has to be continuation to the story. But my question is, who actually gives a fuck about the story? So they went 20 minutes. McIntyre hit a delayed vertical suplex. Lashley was sitting on the stage with the ladies, the women of the night that were there. Kingston came back with a drop kick, chops, another drop kick. Kingston tried for a guillotine choke. McIntyre countered into a vertical suplex, goes for a cover, only gets a near fall. So Kingston fought back. McIntyre caught a flying Kofi, attempting a crossbody attempt, rolled through, hit a beautiful Michinoku driver for a near fall 2 count. McIntyre then taunted Lashley again on the stage, which then prompted Lashley to march to ringside because he was so angry that McIntyre was pointing to him. Maybe McIntyre was pointing out which lady he should take out for a night out on the town. What was so bad that he said to you something and you had to get up and march to the ring? Couldn't just sit there and just watch these two guys beat the shit out of each other? You got 5 women on the stage with you, touching you and groping you, yet you want to get up close and personal with fucking Drew McIntyre. What the fuck is wrong with you? Unreal. So McIntyre's in the ring. He had a back suplex off the top on Kofi for a 2. Kingston countered a DDT into a cradle. McIntyre hit a spine buster. He then followed with a deadlift sit-out powerbomb on Kofi, goes for a 2. Kingston dodged a charging McIntyre. He went right into the ring post. Kingston followed with a frog splash onto McIntyre's back. Kingston then sent McIntyre to the outside. So McIntyre got in Lashley's face, who was away from the ladies and watching this up close and personal by ringside. Kingston hit a trust dive on McIntyre, which also knocked over Lashley. Kingston followed with a terrible-looking SOS for a 2 count. Predictably, Lashley jumped in and attacked McIntyre while MVP also attacked Kingston, and the referee called for the bell. Woods comes out. He saves Kingston from MVP before Lashley knocked down Woods. Kingston gave Lashley a trouble in paradise before McIntyre knocked down Lashley with a Claymore. And that was it. Decent enough match, but the predictable finish with the interference was the end that I didn't want to see happen. So now we got a rematch happening next week. Adam Pearce tells Bobby Lashley, if you or MVP interfere in Kofi versus McIntyre, which, get this, folks, is a rematch, Monday Night rematch. If they interfere next week in their one-on-one match, then Bobby Lashley is suspended and fined for 90 days. That's it. 90 days, no pay, which then would pretty much have him stripped of the WWE Championship. So nobody's going to interfere in next week's match. It looks like, and I hope this is the case, because Kofi doesn't belong there. Kofi needs to go and do what he's got to do with Xavier Woods, Randy Orton, and Matt Riddle. So he's going to lose next week, and we're going to get Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley inside Hell in a Cell, and Bobby Lashley will drop the title finally to Drew McIntyre, and McIntyre can go on and do whatever the fuck he's got to do against God knows what on Monday Night Raw. We haven't seen Jinder. I think WWE made it a little too apparent about what their plans were for Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. Jinder has taken a hiatus on Monday night. We haven't heard a peep from Jinder Mahal. A lot of WWE title talk from the modern-day Maharaja. So I think that's still in the pipeline. But McIntyre and Kofi, very good match. We're getting a one-on-one match with hopefully no interference. WWE, there is still a chance they could find a loophole here and have somebody come out. Maybe they pay. We haven't seen Mace or T-Bar in a couple of weeks. Maybe MVP. All right, we can't interfere, but I'll pay fucking T-Bag and Mace to go out there and interfere. But why would you do that? Just let these guys beat the shit out of each other and get one of them instead of both of them. If MVP knew what he had to do and MVP was a smart guy, he would stay the fuck out of this match. Bobby Lashley can beat Kofi Kingston. Bobby Lashley could beat Drew McIntyre. Bobby Lashley doesn't need to worry about who he wrestles at Hell in a Cell because he's Bobby fucking Lashley. This is a simple equation. That's it. You don't need to overthink this one. Moving on with the next segment after that great opening match. Rhea cringely walked up to Charlotte as Charlotte was walking backstage staring at her phone. She's probably texting Andrade, "Hey, honey, how do I do that back elbow again that you used to do?" Charlotte and Ripley, they were talking to each other. Charlotte said Ripley claims to despise her, but she actually wants to be just like her. I'm sorry, Charlotte. Listen, Rhea Ripley, she is an i5. Charlotte is an i9 processor. You're not on the same wavelength, honey. I'm sorry. You know, you got 5G. Rhea Ripley is still 3G. It's not going to work out. She said she's the most decorated, feared woman in WWE. She said it's going to be her beautiful face she sees inside Hell in a Cell. Now, it's not going to be inside Hell in a Cell. It's going to be at Hell in a Cell. I mixed up my words. We don't need Charlotte and Rhea Ripley inside of Hell in a Cell. It doesn't call for it. The feud doesn't call for it. So I don't want to see anything resembling a fucking cage for these two women. Nikki Cross. Lexa! Where's my Lexa? She's back. Nikki Cross is back. She walked up to them and said one of them should face her tonight. Lexa, face me tonight, Lexa! Charlotte said she already has a match against Asuka. Again, but she's not worth her time. Nice sudden burial there of Nikki Cross. You know, I got a match with Asuka. Nikki, you ain't worth my time. You ain't worth my time, honey. Get out of my way. Woman hasn't been on fucking TV since January, and she's not worth your fucking time? Bitch. Fuck out of here, man. Ripley said people don't like Charlotte because she talks down to people. Now, she said she'd beat her in 2 minutes. Charlotte said she would beat Nikki in 2 minutes. Charlotte then asked Ripley, well, listen, why don't you try and beat Nikki Cross in 2 minutes? Rhea Ripley, the dumb fucking babyface that she is, the 3G wielding Rhea Ripley, Rhea Cringely, who can't cut a fucking promo to save anybody's fucking life. If somebody was in perilous danger and their life hung in the balance for Rhea Ripley to cut a great promo, that person would inevitably fucking die and perish right in front of everybody. She accepts a match to beat Nikki Cross in 2 minutes. Fine. So we got a beat the clock challenge, folks. If there's one fucking match I hate in WWE that's not a lumberjack match, it's a beat the clock challenge. I fucking hate them. I can't stand them. They are so fucking stupid. I don't want to see a 2-minute match. I don't. And it's quite indicative of what Johnny Laurinaitis, People Power, and Bruce thinks of the ladies on Monday Night Raw. So Ripley made her ring entrance, and we got Rhea Ripley versus Nikki Cross. The match started, and you got this big fucking countdown timer on the Titantron, on the big screen, right? You got 2 minutes counting backwards to 0. You see it in plain sight. Fucking Ray Charles could see this fucking thing glaring inside the Thunderdome, man. So Nikki landed a jawbreaker. 1 minute's gone by. She landed a jawbreaker. She landed a crossbody off the top rope. She went for a quick cover, got a 2 count. Nikki's doing her thing. Lexi! She's doing her thing. Ripley drop-kicked Cross and beat her in the corner for 30 seconds. She did not adhere to the referee. Referee was trying to pull her off of Nikki Cross. At no point in this situation did she give a fuck about the time. Rhea Ripley, she had the fucking clock staring at her in giant white numbers. And she continues to beat Nikki Cross and had this woman beat to a point where if you watched it, Nikki was absolutely defenseless. All Rhea Ripley had to do was pick her up by the hair, do a riptide, and pin her 1, 2, 3. She would have beaten Nikki Cross in a minute and a half. And she would have had at least 20 seconds, 15 seconds tops to go. Rhea Ripley didn't even bother looking at the clock. She almost came off as if she forgot that she was in a beat the clock challenge. Now, I don't know what human being accepts a beat the clock challenge where you got to beat your opponent in 2 minutes, but there's no conceivable fucking way that anybody is going to convince me that a normal, logical, straight-headed, thinking human being is going to forget that you're in a beat the clock challenge when you got these big white fucking numbers hanging above you on the goddamn screen. Rhea Ripley, not only is she a fucking terrible promo, but she's a complete fucking idiot. WWE made their Raw Women's Champion a complete blithering idiot. I don't know what you're listening to in the headset while you're working out at the gym, Rhea, but I think it needs to be toned down on the volume side of things. Give me a fucking break. Holy shit. Am I the only one who thought about this while I'm watching this shit? I mean, if I'm there and I have this woman beat, don't you think I'd look up at the fucking clock and say, hey man, I got 30 seconds. Let me fucking hit this bitch with my goddamn finisher. Rhea Ripley looks like a complete fucking moron. And it's Monday night. Must be Monday Night Raw, folks. Nikki Cross wins the match. He's Lexa on the outside. Nikki Cross gets her ass handed to her. She wins the match because Rhea Ripley's a fucking idiot. So you got the Raw Women's Champion losing. Nikki Cross gets her first match since fucking January. And she wins by getting her ass kicked. There you go. Am I a good storyteller or am I a damn good fucking storyteller, bro? This was awful. I don't think anybody looked good here. And if anybody has anything to say about that and wants to bitch and complain that I'm bitching and complaining, you are in fucking denial. Nikki Cross looks like a fucking geek. And Rhea Ripley, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Holy shit. Go take a stroll down the fucking street in which you live and listen to some sad, sappy fucking punk rock poser music. You fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, the booking on this show is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. If they booked her in a meaningful way, I wouldn't be so fucking negative. Guarantee she's praying to be back in NXT. And she was a loser there, too. Eva Marie. We go from one fucking loser to another. Another vignette aired. She was shown on a set of a movie. What type of movie? I don't know, man. Make your assumptions. She thanked people who guided her down the right path. She said now she's a heroine, like Angelina Jolie. Listen, Eva. Listen, honey, you may be attractive, but you ain't no fucking Tomb Raider. Eva Marie, give me a break. Can you imagine Eva Marie playing the role of a Tomb Raider, man? She'd botch herself off a fucking mountain and fall to her fucking perilous death. End of the movie. The movie would be about fucking 3 minutes. You won't even get past the opening goddamn credits. Eva Marie, Angelina Jolie. Give me a break, man. Jesus Christ. She wants to be Angelina Jolie. She wants to do more than play a hero. Eva Marie and hero in the same sentence, man. Oh, what fucking plan? What am I reviewing here? Am I reviewing a wrestling show? She wants to be a hero. She said the role of a hero is to show others the way. I have Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae to do that on NXT. I don't need Eva Marie. She said she wants to be a figure that little girls look up to and said, I can be that. She wants the little girls to say, I want to be that. You want to be a botch queen? You want to be one of the worst professional wrestlers in the industry? By all means. I guess goals nowadays are set very low for the children of the United States. I don't know what they're doing with Eva Marie. I really don't. Is she going to wrestle? Sounds like to me she's more of a manager or valet. Every vignette that we've seen from Eva Marie includes zero wrestling. Is she auditioning for a fucking movie? Is she photo shooting for a magazine? Or is she going to be a professional? When do we actually see her in the ring training to be back in world wrestling entertainment? It's about 4 weeks now. I'm waiting for this disaster to hit my television screen on a Monday night. It's going to be the highest viewed video of the year when Eva Marie wrestles. I can't wait to watch this fucking disaster unfold. Honestly. It's going to be great. So after that, Drew was backstage, asked Pierce what the finish meant. Kofi barged in, wanted to know what Pierce was going to do. Pierce says he was as pissed at what happened at the end of that match than both of them are. Drew says, you don't look it, get more pissed. Adam Pierce said next week they'll wrestle again. The winner will face Lashley at Hell in a Cell. Kofi said he's cool with that, and he wants him to find a way to keep Lashley and MVP away. Drew looked at Kofi and said, everyone knows he's going to go through everybody to get the WWE title back. Charlotte versus Asuka again. Another Charlotte versus Asuka match. I mean, I don't care to see it. I really don't. But I got to give both of these women credit. This was pretty good for what it was. 21 minutes plus that these two women went. And we got a very good match out of it, which is the norm between these two. But I just don't care. How can anyone watch another Charlotte and Asuka match and not come to the conclusion that this division is fucked? This is your division. This is the state of the women's division, folks. The fact that you're getting Charlotte versus Asuka every single week on Raw. That's not what I call a division. Doesn't really make others look good either. Doesn't make Charlotte look good. Doesn't make Asuka look good. Because they're going to only be, at that point, trading wins back and forth. 50-50 booking is going to be very real if you only have these two women in the division that you're pushing in this way. You can't do it. You can't have a division consist of 6 women. You can't do it. You got to have double digits in the women's division. You got to start giving women a chance. You have to. And like I said before, the Rhea versus Nikki Cross match is indicative of what they think of women's wrestling. 2 minutes. It may be indicative of what they think of women's wrestling if you're not Charlotte and not Asuka, and it's indicative of what they think of Rhea Ripley. If you don't think 2 minutes versus Nikki Cross for Rhea Ripley is a sign of things to come, again, you're in denial. Rhea Ripley is doomed. It's lasted longer than I expected it to last. She's done. Just take the fucking championship off of her, put it on Charlotte. Nothing she does is captivating. Nothing is captivating in general coming out of the women's division. Just put it on Charlotte and get it over with already. The division is dead anyway. You might as well just keep it dead when the belt is shifted onto Charlotte. So this one went 20 minutes. Around halfway through this thing, Charlotte was working over Asuka's leg, getting her ready for the figure 8. Asuka came back with German suplexes and a hip attack. She goes for a cover, gets a near fall 2 count. Charlotte drove Asuka's leg into the post, but Asuka fought back, hit a sliding knee on the apron. Charlotte pushed Asuka into the announce table on the outside. They then fought back and forth through the remainder of this match until Asuka tried for an Asuka lock. Charlotte rolled through into a cradle for the pinfall victory. And it was pretty much if you guys are familiar with the Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler ending, I think that was the ending that they used in that match. So it was, or if you want me to go back and use a more famous analogy, I would say Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bret Hart situation at the Survivor Series in 1996, where it was a situation where Bret rolled up Austin in the $1 Million Dream and pinned his shoulders to the mat. That's similar to what happened here. So Charlotte got the victory over Asuka. Asuka got the victory last week, I should say, with help of Rhea Ripley. And Charlotte gets her victory back. So 50-50 booking, folks. 50-50 booking. Who looks good here? Nobody. Nobody's consistent. Nobody looks good. It was a good match. But how many weeks in a row do you expect me to care about the same match that I'm seeing every fucking week? It's very difficult to do. We didn't care about it then. We didn't care about it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We didn't care when they were a tag team, and we still don't care. The women's division is at its lowest point ever. You might as well just revert it back to the Divas division. Eva Marie is certainly on a trajectory to get it there, with her being back, and Johnny being back. 2 minutes for your Raw Women's Champion, and the shit way the creative is just coming along as far as the ladies on this show. Awful. Absolutely awful. Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke were plugging a return to live crowds in July. So they were flexing their muscles and they were saying everybody's going to come out and see them flex. If anybody's coming out to see Dana Brooke, you got some severe mental fucking issues. Number one. Number two, nobody's coming out for these live shows to see Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke at all. Give me a break. This sounded completely disingenuous. It's almost as if the fucking crowds don't even matter to them. They just are given lines to recite because Vince McMahon told them to say it, and there's no genuine feeling at all. I want to see what they really feel about crowds being back instead of some scripted fucking stupidity. Oh, they're going to see us flex. No, I don't want to see you at all. Get off my fucking television. MVP walked up to Pierce with Bobby Lashley, who asked them if that's the kind of champion he wants to be. Pierce said to Lashley. Lashley said Drew and Kofi couldn't represent WWE as well as him. Lashley said he was trying to help Pierce. He said if either of them interfere in the match or even go to ringside, they will be suspended for 90 days without pay. It's your bracket, or in your bracket, that's a whole lot of money. MVP was holding back an angry Lashley. Well, what was he really going to do to Adam Pearce? You touch Adam Pearce, I'll instill this suspension and no pay right now. So he was not going to do anything to Adam Pearce in that moment. Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. I thought once was enough for these two guys. Apparently WWE thought otherwise. Maybe they picked up on how they should have booked this at the pay-per-view to have some sort of meaning, being that they were both tag team champions, that they were both in the Hurt Business. Shelton made his way to the ring, and he had a match against Cedric. Cedric walked to the ring. He had a microphone in his hand. Wish he didn't. Said he wanted to talk to Shelton first. He said they had a good thing going to become Raw Tag Team Champions. They were part of the hottest act in WWE with the Hurt Business. He said MVP took them from obscure nobodies to the top of the mountain. Now, I wouldn't completely call Shelton Benjamin a obscure nobody for the duration of his career. He was a former United States champion. He did dabble in New Japan. He was a former Intercontinental champion. He was a great athlete back in the day. You'd be shocked at the differences between Shelton then and Shelton now. Shelton could still go now if you let him go. So he's not really an obscure nobody. He's an obscure nobody on WWE television in 2021. Let's make that difference very well apparent, okay? He said that they were kicked out of the Hurt Business, and that's because Shelton is washed up. He said that's the only reason they were the tag team champions, and he pointed to himself. He was the only reason why they were tag team champions. Said MVP and Lashley kicked him out of the Hurt Business, and I was just collateral damage. He said that's okay because he's got years to make up for past mistakes because he's young, fresh, and in his prime. How many years do you have left, Shelton? What do you have to show for all your years of hard work? So the referee held Shelton back as Cedric went on and on and on, yelling at the top of his lungs. His voice was crackling on the promo, on the microphone. Cedric says he's an evolving athlete who learns and will have his arm raised in victory. So Cedric, when he said all this, he said, that's the most, actually no, Graves said, that's the most I've ever heard Shelton and Cedric kind of communicate to each other. That's the most I've heard Cedric speak on the microphone. And I hope Shelton snatches his tongue clean out of his head after all that nonsense. So, the promo itself, Cedric Alexander is a fantastic wrestler. But this came off absolutely terrible. The promo itself was fucking awful. The way he just kind of emitted emotion from this promo. Shelton Benjamin was standing there and Cedric Alexander was pretty much burying himself on the microphone. And now you know why WWE hasn't pushed either of these guys on television past where they are now. Shelton's not a fucking scholar on the microphone either, but Cedric Alexander, he's not a good promo. And this was not a good promo. You got to make opportunities count. This was a big opportunity with a lot of TV time to fill via this promo, and he failed. He needs to channel his emotions better. He needs to tone his voice in a way to make it sound more genuine. And like I said before, the way he came off with the high-pitched screaming and the scratching of his voice and the overcompensating with the yelling to make it feel more real and emotional, he did nothing but bury himself. Don't they have promo classes at the Performance Center to tighten up on this type of thing? I mean, really. If you're going to go anywhere in the WWE, that's the one thing you need to work on. If you can't fucking speak, then you're going nowhere. And if that's the type of promo that you're cutting, then you only have yourself to blame. Why Vince McMahon is not pushing you the way you should be pushed on television. Awful. The match itself was fun. They're both fantastic professional wrestlers. I even advocated for this match to happen at Backlash. Cedric wins in 12 minutes. So they traded victories. Cedric Alexander lost the first match. Shelton lost the first match. And Cedric got his win back. It's pretty much what it is. Shelton threw Cedric into the ringside barricade, quick into the match. Cedric took over with a couple of submission holds in the ring. Shelton hit a spine buster. Cedric thumbed Shelton in the eye. And that was after a spinning heel kick. Apparently they were locking up and Shelton got a thumb to the eye. So Cedric landed his neuralizer kick to the face for a 1-2-3. And that was it. Cedric beats Shelton Benjamin. And it looks like both of these guys are out of Vince McMahon's favor. They're going nowhere. This is merely TV time being filled on Monday Night Raw. WWE Creative doesn't give a shit about Cedric Alexander or Shelton Benjamin. These guys are better off sitting in catering. Let's take a look at the chat, guys. We got 1,600 people inside the venue. Thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to tip your bartender, man. If you guys want to super chat, get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. We got 578 likes right now on the stream. The goal is usually 750. So if you guys have enjoyed the podcast up until this point and you have not hit that thumbs up, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 750 live tonight on the Monday Night Raw post show right here on OTS. And remember, today's show is sponsored by Homage, a great website if you guys love your vintage and retro t-shirts. Homage.com. I linked the website in the live chat at the top. You're going to see the website there pinned. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. So go and do some shopping. I'm sure you guys are going to love what you see on there. I got myself 2 shirts, and I absolutely love the quality. Going into hour 3 here, man. Matt Riddle versus Xavier Woods. This was the best match of the entire night. It went 12 minutes or so. It was not as long as the McIntyre Kofi Kingston match. It was not as long as the Asuka and Charlotte Flair match. But damn, was this a hard-hitting match. This is the type of shit that I want to see when it's a little bit more important of a situation to care about. I've said it time and time again, man. It's easy to pinpoint a Big E as being a main event guy or a future main event guy. It's easy to pinpoint him being the guy to take down a Roman Reigns, which I don't think is going to be any time soon. It's easy to cheer for a Kofi Kingston and push for a Kofi Mania. I don't really care for one, but I know Kofi's got his big-time supporters. But man, oh man, where is the love for Xavier Woods? Xavier Woods may be the better pro wrestler of both Kofi and Big E. He may be the best pro wrestler in the New Day. Incredibly underrated. I know he could go. Everybody should know he could go. It should be no surprise to anybody. But Xavier Woods is always left behind. Oh, it's Big E. Oh, it's Kofi. And then Xavier Woods comes in third. Xavier Woods is very underappreciated in the New Day camp. He may be the best pro wrestler coming out of the New Day. And I would be in that camp of, you know what? I would want an Xavier Woods title push more than a Big E. And I would want an Xavier Woods title push more than a Kofi Kingston. Where is Xavier Woods' time to go for a major title? That's something I can get behind. Matt Riddle, we know he's a great pro wrestler. Matt Riddle can have a great match with anybody. But damn, this was good. This was easily the best thing on the show tonight. And fuck anybody that says, oh, JD only buries Raw. I just got done saying that. Kofi versus McIntyre was a great match. This was a great match. I even gave Charlotte and Asuka some fucking credit. 3 great matches doesn't make a good Monday Night Raw because on top of that, folks, you got to tell stories. Stories aren't captivating enough for me to care. And they don't get you in the mode or in the mood to care about what's happening next week. So Matt Riddle beat Xavier Woods. So what happened here, they started the match. Riddle was showing off his strength. He did a couple of suplexes. Woods showed off his strength. Series of vertical suplexes by Woods. They traded strikes. They dropped each other with a old school double clothesline spot. Woods gave Riddle a AA on the apron, which we got Matt Riddle taken out big time here. So Woods gives him a attitude adjustment on the ring apron, or Fireman's Cadet Valley Driver, if you want to call it, attitude adjustment, whatever. Gives him a Death Valley Driver on the ring apron. Matt Riddle took a nasty spill. And Adnan on commentary, I've never seen Matt Riddle look like that. Corey Graves chimes in with his quick wit humor. Oh yeah, you got to take a look at him on Saturday night. He had this dazed look on his face. He was completely fucking out of it. Corey Graves, when he's on, man. So after a commercial break, we come back. Woods is beating up on Matt Riddle. He had a missile drop kick for 2 off the top rope. Riddle then starts to come back. Knee strike. Woods counters a Bro Derek attempt. Drop kicked Riddle into the corner. Woods followed up with a press slam into a gut buster for a near fall 2 count. Riddle then did a deadlift German suplex off the middle rope, and Woods basically landed right on top of his head. This was fucking nasty. It brought me back to just a couple of weeks ago on Dynamite where Adam Hangman Page was wrestling Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks tried to evade a German suplex spot from Page, flipped through it, landed on top of his fucking head on his neck. It brought me back to that, man. It was that nasty. I hope Xavier Woods, in the aftermath, is okay. He got up. He was continuing the match. It looked like he was all right, but we don't know for sure. It looked fucking nasty. So they went back and forth for a little bit. Riddle suddenly hit an RKO out of nowhere for the 1, 2, 3. So Matt Riddle uses an RKO, and he did Randy Orton's pose after the match. So what does this mean? Are we getting Randy Orton and Matt Riddle versus the New Day to see who moves on to wrestle the tag team champions? Seems like we're getting AJ and Omos versus Elias and Jaxson Ryker, which nobody gives a fuck about. AJ and Omos should get that victory pretty easily. And then it looks like we're getting AJ and Omos versus Matt Riddle and Randy Orton for the tag team championships. But are Matt Riddle and Randy Orton going to be a babyface team? That's what I want to know. Looks like they may be a babyface team But it looks like with the RKO spot, seemingly setting up RKO to Matt Riddle. That looks like to be his future from Randy Orton. Looks like Randy Orton's going to turn on Matt Riddle. Did Randy Orton give him the okay to use those moves? Did Randy Orton give Matt Riddle the okay to pose like Randy Orton? Is Randy Orton going to have a problem with this? Like I said, I don't mind the pairing. I think it's a Band-Aid pairing. I think it's WWE's lack of creativity because they don't have any real fucking tag teams in the division. These two guys should be at the upper portion of the card competing for major championships. But I'm enjoying the Matt Riddle, Randy Orton stuff. It's easily the highlight for me on Monday night. What they do with it, I don't know. So we'll see where it goes. It looks like Randy Orton is definitely setting up to turn on Matt Riddle. Jaxson Ryker versus AJ Styles. Exactly what we don't want to see on Raw. AJ Styles loses to Jaxson Ryker in 2 minutes. On no fucking show on any planet should AJ Styles be losing and taking a pinfall from Jaxson Ryker. But here we are. Here we are. The Raw Tag Team Champions losing to fucking Jaxson Ryker on Monday Night Raw. Elias attacks Styles with a flying knee. Obviously, this was behind the referee's back before scurrying away. Back in the ring, Ryker landed a one-armed, fall-away slam for the win. Sidewalk slam, whatever you want to call it. He wins in 2 minutes. Omos shoved Elias down at ringside after the match was over. Chased both of them up the ramp. He eventually caught Ryker, or Elias it was, I believe, and threw Elias through the stage. He threw him through the LED board on the stage. Omos entered the ring, checked on Styles, and Omos obviously is running fast. He's taking lessons from Braun Strowman and the stupid Express. Humberto Carrillo. He's back. He's back. Match against Sheamus. Sheamus wins in 4 minutes. That's all Humberto is there for. Apparently, there was a nice, tasty quesadilla waiting for him in Titus Catering. Fresh out of the oven. So he only had 4 minutes to spare with another 1 minute to get back into catering to where the quesadilla was at its optimum temperature. Sheamus wins in 4 minutes. Humberto was fighting back after Sheamus was beating him up. He drop-kicked Sheamus to the floor, then he dove through the ropes with a missile-like plancha, knocking Sheamus headfirst into the table. Humberto threw Sheamus back in the ring, leapt off the top rope with a flying back elbow, got a near fall. Sheamus sat down on a roll-up attempt and yanked Humberto's tights for a out-of-nowhere 1-2-3 leverage pin. Sheamus attacked Humberto after the match. All of a sudden, Humberto was in a Texas cloverleaf middle of the ring. Sheamus looks up, and what do we see? A flying Ricochet out of nowhere. So Ricochet made the save with a springboard dropkick out of camera vantage point. Humberto then springboard kicked Sheamus. Ricochet landed a springboard moonsault. Then Humberto landed a moonsault off the top rope. Ricochet then landed a 450 splash off the top rope. Sheamus was decimated by catering's VIPs. I gotta admit, the attack on Sheamus was awesome after the match was over. Humberto has a beautiful moonsault. Ricochet, literally everything he does is fucking beautiful. I don't know where they're going with it. Do I care? No. Humberto lost. Ricochet lost twice. How am I going to care about these two guys if they've taken losses consecutively? What's the story? What is Ricochet fighting for? He stole Sheamus's hat and jacket. Sheamus got it back. Sheamus beat him. Yet we're still here. Oh, that's right. We don't have anybody of note to challenge Sheamus for the United States Championship. So we're stuck with two guys that we've pretty much buried on Monday Night Raw. Great. What happens at Hell in a Cell? Ask me in 3 weeks if I care. The answer may not surprise you. Backstage, Sarah Schreiber interviewed Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and the man that gets more TV time than 90% of the women's division, Reginald. Baszler said Jax was distracted again last week. Jax told her to stop being a bully. She said Reginald was shaken up because the flames got close to his eyes and he was seeing triple and having nightmares. He's having nightmares, yet he is seeing perfectly clear as he walks Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler down to the ring. I wonder what those nightmares really are about. How much worse could it get than being on Monday Night Raw is what I want to know. So, who cares, says Baszler. She said they were an unstoppable force until Reginald showed up and she got distracted by things that don't matter. Baszler suggested that they go to the ring without Reginald this week. Reginald says he was only trying to help. Yes, he was only trying to help. I wish WWE would help their women's division by not including Reginald. Baszler said she can help by keeping this guy in the back. Stay in the back. She said if she sees his face at ringside for another match of hers, she'll give him a real reason to have nightmares. I don't think that's necessary, honey. I don't think that's necessary, Shayna. He's already employed by Bruce Pritchard. I don't know how much worse it could possibly get for fucking Circus de Olay, fucking Reginald. Main event of Monday Night Raw was Natayla and Tamina Snuka versus Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I did not stutter here, folks. This was legitimately the main event of Monday Night Raw. You know, WWE has fans back in attendance on July 16, starting on SmackDown. Then they go to July 18, Money in the Bank. Then they got live fans in attendance during Monday Night Raw on July 19th. I want to see them pull this stunt then. Can you imagine this fucking main event with fans back in attendance? Can you imagine Alexa Bliss doing fucking magic with fans in attendance? They're going to shit all over it, and rightfully so. Get it out of your system now, WWE. Piss it away. Piss it away. Because if you do this when fans are back in attendance, I am going to fucking relish every second that live crowd completely shits on your fucking television program. 11 minutes of shit I don't care about. I got 1,700 people in the chat. I know each and every fucking one of you didn't give a solid fuck about this shit. This was fucking awful. Every bit of it. So Tamina and Jax, they brawled out ringside till Jax backdropped her over the barricade. So Tamina was taken out of the match. Natalya gave Baszler a discus clothesline, but Reginald distracted the referee as Natalya tried for a sharpshooter. Baszler reversed into a small package, but the referee was still distracted by Reginald, so Natalya was able to kick out. Baszler demanded that Reginald leave. As Reginald walked up the ramp, we got fucking pyro. As if Kane is coming down the aisle, shoot up from the stage, and all of a sudden Reginald falls backwards, fire gets in his eyes, Shayna Baszler's looking on from the ring as if she's concerned for Reginald, and then all of a sudden Baszler is pinned by Natalya off of a fire distraction again, and she pins Baszler 1, 2, 3. Tag team champions retain. Baszler goes up to Reginald, who's sitting in the aisleway. Oh, my eyes! My eyes! I can't see! I wish I was fucking looking like Reginald at the start of this fucking show, because this show sucks. I wish Alexa burned my fucking eyes with fire at the 8 p.m. hour so I didn't have to watch this steaming pile of bullshit. Baszler grabbed Reginald and yelled at him that they would be fighting next week on Raw. And that's the way Monday Night Raw went off the air. Folks, if you end your show with the cliffhanger of Shayna Baszler and Reginald next week in a one-on-one match, it pretty much is WWE telling you, without actually them telling you, that they don't give a fuck if you watch or not. They don't give a fuck about who watches the show or the quality of their programming. We have how many women on this roster not getting an opportunity? We got Liv Morgan. We got Ruby Riott. We got Nikki Cross. We got Naomi. We got God knows who else on this women's roster that is shaping up to be one of the worst I've ever seen. How many women on this show that you could potentially push and give opportunities to on a weekly basis? And Reginald is the one guy that you push more than any other woman on this show. Natty, Tamina, Shayna, Nia, Asuka, Charlotte, Rhea. Then you got Bayley and Bianca. Reginald is booked as much as every single one of those women. Meanwhile, you have how many women on this roster dying for an opportunity, and you don't give them any fucking opportunity. So we have Reginald versus Shayna Baszler next week. That's the way you end your fucking show? If that doesn't tell you that WWE doesn't give a fuck, I don't know what else I could tell you. Fire. Shayna lost again because of fire. Because of Alexa Bliss magic. I can't wait for WWE to do these stunts in front of live fans. Alexa Bliss is being centered around every fucking women's act. You know she's going to inevitably feud with Charlotte. You know that's coming. That may be Rhea's feud coming out of the Charlotte loss at Hell in a Cell. I mean, this is what they're doing. They're giving Alexa Bliss every facet of the women's division. And we don't have any idea where the storyline's going. No fucking inkling of an idea of what the end game is. All we know is that they took Bray Wyatt's gimmick, gave it to Alexa. Bray is off fucking television, and no, he's not depressed. The only reason why he would be depressed is because they gave his fucking gimmick to Alexa Bliss, and they took him off of fucking television. They gave it to Alexa Bliss. There's no end game. And all she does is talk in fucking cryptic fucking sentences with her doll Lily. This is women's wrestling. This is the women's revolution, right? I don't know what type of revolution we're in right now, folks, but it certainly sounds like with John Laurinaitis back and Bruce Pritchard not giving a fuck about women's wrestling, because let's be real, Bruce has always stated that women's wrestling is not a draw. They only gave Charlotte 20 minutes with Asuka because, let's be real, it's Charlotte Flair. They're not going to give anybody just a random 20 minutes on Monday night. Women's wrestling doesn't draw. And they're booking the women's division as if they don't have a fucking care in the world. Sucks. It really is a shame. That division, both on SmackDown and on Raw, need a complete overhaul. A complete overhaul. That is your Monday Night Raw post-show right here on Off the Script. If you guys enjoyed that, we are legitimately 60 away from 750 likes on the live stream. If you guys enjoy that, hit that thumbs up, man. Try for 750 as we now are going to read over all of the super chats that you guys have graciously forwarded to me on the live stream tonight. If you guys want to get your super chats in, you guys can certainly do that. Go check out Homage. Go get yourself some vintage t-shirts, man. They look great. They feel great. Homage.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below if you have not done so. I want to see everybody in this chat. If you have not hit that subscribe button, I want to see you hit that subscribe button, man. If you're new to the stream, I'd love to have you a part of the family. And if you missed any of the content that I've uploaded on the channel, man, we were live last night for almost 3 hours. Episode 377 of the flagship podcast. Go check that out. And I uploaded an off-the-script extra today talking about Keith Lee and the Velveteen Dream. That is also on the channel right now. Did very well today, so if you missed that, it's waiting for you on the channel. Let's start at the top here, man. We got Daniel Easterday with the $2 super chat. Condolences to Jesse. Stay strong, brother. Indeed. We love Jesse, and we hope he pulls through, man. He needs all the strength in the world right now. Ryan Heisler with a $5 super chat. I have a plot for the new Ring movie. People around the world watch Raw. Bruce emerges from the TV. Everyone dies. The end. Thanks for the laughs, JD. Bro, listen, Bruce coming out of the well would be as creepy as anything in any horror movie ever. Can you imagine Bruce coming out of the well? Red-faced, white suit, glasses, sopping wet, crawling around all creepy like fucking Abaddon. Thank you, Ryan. Kenley Pierre with a $5 and a $2 super chat. Kofi probably won't help the rating, but at least if he could win the title and face maybe heel Riddle or a match with Ali, there is a story between those two. No. WWE is not giving Mustafa Ali a title match. Let's be real, Kenley. Come on. Just don't have Kofi lose to Jinder Brock in 4 seconds. They're not that dumb to do that all over again. If they do, I may have no voice at the end of it. Michelle Moran with a $2 super chat. Another triple threat for the Raw title at Hell in a Cell. Boring. Well, to be fair, we don't know yet. But I could absolutely see it being a triple threat because noticeably absent are two guys that helped MVP just a couple of weeks ago. A few weeks ago, to be exact. That's T-Bag and Mace. Where are they? But it doesn't make sense for a businessman like MVP to have anybody interfere in that match. You either have that match go the way it should, you get one guy, or if you want to beat down both guys just to prove a point, then you're getting both of them and lessening Bobby Lashley's chances at Hell in a Cell. So pick your poison. Thank you, Michelle. Ryan Heisler with another $1.99 super chat. Cream soda with a shot of peanut butter whiskey. That sounds fucking delicious. That sounds delicious, man. Give me a double. Lauren Hutton. Lauren likes to spam super chats individually instead of giving one large sum of a super chat. Riddle hitting that RKO on Woods is a sign of things to come. I agree. Orton and Riddle feuding with the New Day. AJ and Omos. Orton could turn on Riddle at SummerSlam. Cena returning to SmackDown on July 16th. Possibly. We don't know yet. I talked about that in the OTS Extra that I uploaded earlier today. Drew wins next week. Mahal will interfere at Hell in a Cell. I don't know why Mahal would interfere in anybody's match. What does he have to do with anything? PMAC with a $5 super chat. Loved what you said about Dream on Sunday. I hate this whole cancel culture of today's social media geeks. It kills a whole career over one person's story with no proof. Yeah, man. Velveteen Dream, you know, it's a very touchy subject, but he was never convicted of anything. The only people that convicted the Velveteen Dream were the people on social media, the social media geeks who think they're the social media police. They don't have a badge. They have no power. The only power that they have is the fucking spit that resides in between their keys on their home keyboard. That's it. Dream should be given a chance if he's innocent. Absolutely. But he needs to just sit back and let things develop, man. If he's really innocent, then by all means, go out there and prove your innocence. Do I believe his story? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. That shit's gonna haunt him for the rest of his career. Thank you, PMAC. Bradley Robinette with a $1.99 super chat. WWE, get rid of Adnan Virk. Stick to baseball, dude. I can't imagine he was good in baseball either. PMAC with another $10 super chat. Reminds me of my next door neighbor. Had a basketball scholarship to UCLA and some dumb girl lied about him. His whole career killed away, 5 years in prison. Then she comes out and says she lied about it. It happens, man. It happens. The thing is with Dream, one of the guys, if not both, I know one of them for sure, deleted his social media account. So if you delete your social media account after you got called out over some bullshit, doesn't that kind of prove to everybody you were doing this for malicious reasons? If you were innocent and your story was valid, why would you need to delete your social media page? I don't know, man. Very weird. Whatever happened with the Dream, very weird, man. Lauren Hutton, $2 super chat. One of the worst Raws in recent memory. I've seen worse. It honestly wasn't that bad because a lot of what we saw tonight, at least 3 of the matches, backed it up big time in the ring. You got to give him some credit. We're not here to bullshit and lie to people. Some decent matches tonight, but the storylines, they just suck. Super cool with the $2 super chat. I watched the 3-hour cut of Superman 1 instead. It's good for you, bro. Hopefully you got enjoyment out of that 3 hours while we were all suffering watching Raw. King Mo with a $1.99 super chat. I spent my night watching Bird Box, not this trash. That was actually a very entertaining film. That was a good movie. Bird Box. I'm looking forward to that new one. I can't think of the name of it. Fuck. I can't think of the name of it. It was supposed to come to Netflix. Jesus Christ, why am I forgetting the name of this fucking movie, man? It'll come to me. It's coming out this week on the 28th. Friday. Reese, $9.99. Mr. No Days Off, he says. Yes. Mr. No Days Off, man. I got a lot of work this week. We're going to Double or Nothing on Saturday. So, Quiet Place. There you go. Matthew Sanday, thank you. Quiet Place. Quiet Place 2. I'm drained, man. I really am. No, not Army of the Dead. Nobody wants to watch Army of the Dead, bro. Give me a break. Come on. Thank you, Reese, for the $9.99. I take great pride in being Mr. No Days Off, man. PMAC with a $2 super chat. Jesse, sorry to hear about your mom. My condolences with a heart emoji. Frisky Dingo with a $5 super chat. Ricochet can do things few people on the planet can do, and this guy is wasting his prime physical years saving Humberto Carrillo. See you in Jacksonville. It sucks, bro. It really does. Bread Pie with a $2 super chat. He says, I like heavy metal and I like Disturbed. Red Pie. Good man. Jay Allen Beats with a $49.99 super chat. Thank God for that women's tag team match for the ending of the show. I needed to walk my dog and that was perfect. JD, I'd rather watch my dog shit than watch a women's tag team match with catering VIPs. Been with you since 2016. Much respect, bro. Shay Allen. Thank you so much, brother. I'd rather do anything than watch a women's championship tag team title match in the main event of Monday Night Raw. Especially with Alexa Bliss doing fucking magic. Tenorio128, are you a fan of Led Zeppelin? Absolutely. Dayron Sanders. JD, I'm drained from this show and have work in the AM, so I will catch the playback. Thank you. And Hoot Media for my gift. I received it today. They also got me an Acknowledge Me Roman t-shirt as well. Dayron, what did I tell you, bro? Give it time and be patient, man. Hoot Media counted those envelopes specifically. Just give it time, and you got it. Enjoy your koozie, brother. Thank you for the $10 super chat. King Mo with a $1.99 super chat. We'll watch the playback, bro. God bless and much love. King Mo, thank you so much, brother. Matt 87 Eagle with a $4.99 super chat. I'm sorry, Bruce, but a rerun episode doesn't count as something new in the longest running episodic TV show to me. Bruce's middle name is Rerun. Bruce's middle name is fucking Rerun, bro. John Hall with a $5 super chat. He leaves a chicken emoji, lifting weights, saying, keep it up. I always keep it up, John Hall. Thank you for the $5, man. Brad Pie with a $2 super chat. I've been subscribed to you since December 14th, 2017. Brad Pie, if I could give you a cookie, bro, I would. I appreciate it. I heard through the grapevine Hoot Media makes delicious chocolate chip cookies. Maybe we'll have Hoot Media send you some cookies, bro. Coiled Phoenix with a $20 super chat. Thank you, Coiled Phoenix. Coiled Phoenix is here every single live stream with the super chat donations. I can completely get behind Cole or Cross coming to the main roster as long as you give me a story and the end result is a meaningful match with fans in attendance, because that's what makes the whole thing better. Thumbs up and heart emoji. Thank you, Coiled Phoenix. Do I trust them with Adam Cole? No. Karrion Kross, I feel a little bit more okay with. But Adam Cole? No way. Reese with a $19.99 super chat. He asked Jesse, I want you to hang in there, and I'm sending condolences to your family, friends, and everyone who knew your mother. Reese, thank you so much, man. I'm sure Jesse appreciates all of the love, man. Gregory Benson with a $19.99 super chat. I missed tonight's Monday Night Raw show. Consider yourself fortunate, brother. But I know I didn't miss anything because it's basically a rerun. I think Bruce dug up several scripts from the past several months and mashed them all up for tonight's show. You know what else he also mashed up? Titus's potatoes in catering. I heard Bruce put on another 5 pounds. He's even become a bigger slob. This is what I hear. Lauren Hutton with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Gregory. There's this debate going on social media. Who is the best wrestler in the world today? Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Adam Cole, or Kenny Omega? Listen, I'm not answering these fucking stupid questions. I answered this already today. And I said this again last week. Kenny Omega is the best bell-to-bell professional, technical professional wrestler on the planet. If I was to choose others, and I'm talking strictly in the United States, I'm leaving the Okadas and the Tanahashis and all those guys, the Ospreys out of it because they're in Japan. I don't watch New Japan, okay? Omega, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, guys like that. Those are guys that are going to comprise your top 5. Randy Orton is an incredible professional wrestler. A lot of people, they usually say if you were to create a perfect pro wrestler, it is Randy Orton. Who do I think is the best pro wrestler today right now because he's the complete package? Roman Reigns. That's just my opinion. In every aspect, he's just at the top of his game. He's like a blue chip, 5-tool baseball player. He's like remember when Andrew Jones was brought up to the Braves? He had everything. Had the bat, had the arm, had the speed, had the offense, had the defense, everything. That's Roman Reigns. He's got every tool you need to be the perfect pro wrestler. And then on top of that, the storytelling and the matches that he's been in, the level of importance that those matches have had. The people that he's been in the ring with have gotten better because of how good Roman Reigns has been. I mean, it's just what it is. But go debate on social media. I mean, you people live on social media. These geeks live on social media to debate about pro wrestling, man. I don't care. Bill Voss with an Australian $5 super chat. Hey, JD, I love your content. Do you think Bruce will outdo himself and make Raw worse than it already is? Bro, he's already made Raw worse than it already was. God Tongue with a $5 super chat. If Big E was ever going to win a world title, I think it would be more fitting if he were traded to Raw to feud with Lashley. I actually do agree with that. I do agree with that. If Roman is still champion by the end of the year, Big E should get drafted to Monday Night Raw and be reunited with the New Day. And then chase a WWE Championship on Raw away from... At this point, you're going to have to move everybody away from Roman Reigns. There's nobody on that roster that's beating and should beat Roman Reigns. Nobody. Gavin Deeth with a Australian 5. I liked your idea last week about bringing back King of the Ring and having a group stage to fill the shows for a month to build stars and refresh Raw. If I was in charge, if I was in control of a creative meeting, that's exactly what I would do. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, always a pleasure listening to you. Do you think Wade Barrett will ever wrestle again in WWE? Really miss his in-ring work. Yes, I do. I do think he will be back in the ring. Shout out to the great Kali in the chat. He became a VIP member of this fine establishment. Kali, what are you drinking, bro? You're sitting VIP in the back with me over there. What are you drinking, brother? Serious with a $1.99 super chat. Where's the life in this show? Where did it go? Bruce buried it, Serious. Bruce buried it. Theo with a double $4.99 super chat. Hey, bro, what was your favorite Hell in a Cell match? Foley Undertaker, King of the Ring. What was your favorite WWF or WWE theme song? That's a tough one, man. Old school Heartbreak Kid. Sensational Sherry version. Stone Cold. The old Bret Hart theme. Stone Cold's, I said. A lot of them, man. The original Undertaker music. Ham Sand. 210. $5 super chat. I made a WWE 2K14 custom story where Zack Ryder was pushed to the main event of WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Would you have enjoyed it? No. No. If it includes Zack Ryder, more than likely not. Greg Khali says he's going to need a bigger chair. I tell Jesse to go get a chair for you, Khali, but Jesse has been given several weeks off. Yo, Dana! Get Khali a fucking chair! Don't give me no lip! And get me a fucking cold beverage. I'm almost empty over here. Khali wants some of Jinder's India Pale Ale. Get him one. Theo with a $9.99 super chat. Would you have ever seen AJ Styles and RVD match? I'm going to translate it and say that would I have ever watched an AJ Styles RVD match? Yes, in RVD's prime, absolutely. Tony Paul with a $1.99 super chat. Rhea Ripley more like Rhea Scriptly, honestly. Dude, she's awful. She's fucking terrible, man. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. How could you glance over Braun Strowman calling himself the conductor of destruction? I expected a wee-hee like no other. Bro, it wasn't in my notes, man. That might have been the part of the show where I actually got up and I went to go take a fucking shower. He's the conductor of destruction. Wee-hee! I'm the conductor of stupid. Thank you, Jacob. Tate 2 times with a $5 super chat. Cena 06-07 versus Rollins. 15 with Authority versus Reigns with Usos. Now versus Orton 09 with Legacy. Who you got? You goon. I respect your grind. Tate 2 times. Thank you, man. I'm taking anything with Reigns and the Usos. I wasn't a big fan of Legacy. And I was not a big fan of Cena 06-07. Rollins 15, he was great, but WWE fucked him up. Tony Paul with a $1.99 super chat. Also, keep up the good work. It's been a while, JD. Thank you, Tony Paul. I appreciate you, man. Shayla 810. Prayers and hearts go out to Jesse. Thank you, Shayla. I'm sure Jesse appreciates the love. Jedi Joker 93 with a $5 super chat. Hey, man, sorry I missed the review. I enjoyed OTS Live yesterday. Is it a 1 week thing, or is OTS Live going to be a mainstay? No, listen, man, when it's live, that means I'm busy. And going live is the easiest thing for me to do. But it will be pre-recorded for Saturday, and I'll be doing that on Friday. I got a big work day on Friday ahead of myself. Thank you, Jedi. Juan Vasquez, $5 super chat. Good to hear someone so blunt about WWE today. Yeah, it's great, man. I love being blunt about WWE, but the geeks and the fucking slobs on social media think that I am negative for clicks and negative for views and negative because it generates attention. That's just dialogue from people who are talentless in life. If it's so easy to do what I do, why don't you come on here and be positive about WWE? Then you'd be looked at like a fucking idiot. It ain't gonna work. Nobody will respect you then. I'm honest and open with everybody about what we're watching. That's why people come here. I don't see anybody else going live having 1,700 people. And this is a slow night. Just based on the fact that the fucking product is terrible. Usually we have 2,300 people in here. This podcast is better than Raw, LOL, and the brand split, and you get more talent for each show. I absolutely agree. Munchie Time with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you for doing God's work with Monday Night Bore. I appreciate you, Munchie. Thank you, man. Bradley Robinette, do you like Greta Van Fleet? No idea who that is. Siphon Plays with the $2 super chat. Jacksonville, 5 days. We're going to have a good one, JD. Hopefully we do, man. Hopefully we do. Come to the OTS Hangout. Intuition Works. Chris with a $4.99 super chat. What's up, JD? Thoughts on this booking scenario? Cena beats McIntyre for 17 at SummerSlam. Cross comes to Raw, beats Cena for the WWE Championship. I could absolutely see that happening, being that Cross and Cena have engaged on social media. I could see it. Captain Solo, $5 super chat. JD is Mr. No Days Off, but Bruce Pritchard is Mr. No Effort Given. Tamina in the Raw main event. Really? Took the words right out of my mouth, Solo. I don't get it. I know Tamina is respected by some people backstage, but creative on this show, man, listen. I don't give a shit what she is and what she does outside of pro wrestling. The way that the women's division is being handled is awful. It is awful. Rafael De Luna with the $2 super chat. Best horror movie you have seen? That's a tough one, man. I don't really know. I'm not a big horror movie guy. If I was to say which horror movie I enjoyed the most, I'd probably say Alien and Aliens with Sigourney Weaver. The Ridley Scott movies. I'm not into The Exorcist or Chucky or Friday the 13th or Jason and all this other shit. Don't care. Justin with a $4.99 super chat. Congrats to Austin Riley, who won NL Player of the Week after his 6-homer week. Also, keep up the good work. To be honest, I barely watch Raw anymore, but still watch you. I appreciate that, Justin. Yeah, Austin Riley is finally becoming the hitter that we all thought he was finally going to become. Braves are hot. They're hitting. They're pitching. All they need is one long, big streak of consistency, and they would be untouchable, man. I don't think the Mets got it. I don't think anybody in that division's got it, really. So we'll see. The Braves should definitely be playing better, though. JD23 with a $4.99 super chat. We got a taste of Mania, but I can't wait to see fans' live reaction to Roman on a regular basis. Also, fans should boot Raw Live if WWE keeps this up. I don't know who would actually spend their money on Raw Live. Those people need their fucking heads checked. Bradley Robinette, Greta Van Vliet sounds like Zeppelin. Give it a try. I had no idea. Well, I know Robert Plant is still making music. They sound like Zeppelin, I'll give them a shot. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, man. Fucking 5 hours of wrestling content, man. 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours for the live stream. You guys are absolutely the best community in the IWC, man. If you guys enjoyed this, man, we hit 750. Let's try for 1,000. I know we'll get there, but if you guys have not hit the thumbs up and still are in the chat, hit that thumbs up. Homage.com for your retro and vintage t-shirts, man. It's code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. I want to see some people go and represent Homage and get yourself some nice vintage shirts, man. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JDfromNY206. And if you missed Off the Script Extra earlier today and Off the Script episode 377 yesterday, they're on the channel right now. Kelly, I just finished playing House of the Dead Arcade and enjoyed shooting Bruce as the zombie chainsaw and Charlotte Flair as the magician boss, because they pull a horrible Raw episode. I love it. Thank you, Kelly, for the $10. Guys, you know what to do. Give me those guitar emojis and that music you're listening to now on max. I'm getting in the Mustang. The windows are down. I'm hitting the highway. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Cross Baszler NXT title live on Off the Script. I'll see you guys tomorrow.